Hi, I'm Linda, Teen Librarian at the Traverse Area District Library, and today I'm going to show you how to make a nautical knot bracelet. So if you picked up your kit at the library, you will have two 20-inch pieces of paracord, one 10-inch piece of paracord, a paper ruler, a clasp, a couple pieces of embroidery thread, and some tape. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to measure our wrist. So put the measuring tape on your wrist and pull it around and see where they meet up. I'm meeting up just past the 7-inch mark. So I'm going to take it off and I'm going to mark that. Or is that just past or just below? Let me see. Just under 7 inches. Okay. So just under 7 inches. And then I'm going to add 1 inch, so just under 8 inches. And that is how long I'm going to cut my 10-inch piece of cord down to that size, to the just under 8 inches. Let me make sure I got that right. Yep. Cut that end off. And then I'm going to wrap it around my wrist and put the ends together face to face and see if that's comfortable. If that's going to be a comfortable size, I'm going to go with that. If it's a little too loose, I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. And I would always start with adding a full inch. If you want your bracelet tighter, you're going to snip a little bit more off. Okay, now that I have the length of my bracelet, I'm going to lay my clasp, and I'm only considering the pink and white, not this fuzzy white, as the size. I'm going to lay the clasp next to it and cut off the length of the clasp. And that is how long I'm going to make my paracord knot, which is the knot that makes the nautical knot bracelet. So I am done with that. I'm done with my scraps. Not ready for this. Just get all that stuff out of the way. And let's make a paracord knot. So take one of your pieces of paracord. Now I'm using 2 different colors so you can see the knot a lot better as I make it. And take a piece of tape, and you want to tape these together. Just wrap that tape around. And you're going to do that with both of your pieces. So I'm going to do it with my green and my orange. Wrap it nice and snug. Doesn't have to be perfect at this point. But this is going to make it easier to make the knot and then to size it. So I'm going to start with my green cord. I'm going to put it down with the tape side to the right, to my right, and the loop to my left. Then I'm going to take the loop, I'm going to hold down here and take the loop and bring it over the top of the tape side. So it's going to look, if it stays, stay. It's going to look like that. Now I'm going to take the orange one, I'm going to take the loop over the loop that I just made, and I'm going to go under the taped edge and over the looped end. So you see that? Let me do that one more time. Take the loop and loop it over top, like that. And this loop is going to go over the big loop we just made, and it's going to go under the taped, over the looped end, like that. And the next step will be to take this taped end and go up under the green, up under and inside the green loop, over top of the orange loop and back down under the green loop. And then you pull it tight. And there you have a carrot knot. So now it's time for me to size my bracelet. I'm going to take my measuring tape, find the center of it and mark it. Mark it with my pencil. Okay, so I want that to be in kind of the center of my knot. So that is how long I want my bracelet to be. Looks like I can cut I think I'm going to pull my knot a little tighter. There we go. I like that better. Okay, this is the part that I have trouble with, is finishing it off. So we're going to cut these short, probably right where the tape is. Want them to stay taped together. If you need to add a little more tape before you cut it to make sure it's in the center. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to make these a little bit shorter. So what I need to do then is wrap this around, and they're going to meet up right there. Right like that. So that piece, I'm going to tape this up. Tape it around. Kind of protect yourself so you don't, like, not protect yourself, but protect your creation so you don't have problems. And this I'm going to tape cut shorter. There we go. That's better. This edge about where I'm probably going to be cutting it. Can always remove the tape later if we need. For the most part, we won't need to remove the tape. So for the length, now I want it to be then cut this, and I'm going to loop these, and I'm going to adjust this a little bit. You can adjust your knot so that I want that side to be a little shorter. There we go. So that they can meet and you can have a loop there on the end. So just pull it until you get it adjusted to the right length. There we go, that's better. Once you have it at the right length, then you are going to take, you've got 2 more pieces of tape and tape those together. Just like this. Now this tape is going to get covered up with our embroidery floss, so you don't have to worry about seeing it. There. that side is done. That comes from the center, it comes to here. So even though I adjusted which string was longer and which was shorter, by pulling it through like this, it still kept it the same length. And do that here on this side too. But on this side, so you see that will match up there now. And double check my measurements one more time. Let's see. On this side, I'm going to add the spring clasp. Right about there, looks like that should be about right for it. So before I tape it, I'm going to take the spring clasp and I'm going to put it on there. Now I will tape these two together. So with my last piece of tape. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Put it around. Okay. Even out my knot. So now it looks like this. And all that tape, you know, beautiful as it is, it's not what we want to see. Yep, it's gonna fit my wrist. So now we play with the embroidery thread. To wrap it with embroidery, you're going to make a loop. You're going to leave an end sticking out and a loop sticking out on the one side and an end on the other, and just wrap around the outside. What you're doing is enforcing it and covering up all the tape, so you don't have to remove the tape. Now, one thing you could have done inside there was, you know, paracord melts, but I didn't want to do it by melting it together, so that is one option you could have used. When you get to the end, take and stick your thread through, embroidery thread through the hoop you had made, and then you're going to pull on this, and that will pull it up under to hold it tight there. And then you just slip it. And snip it. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab the other piece of embroidery thread because I need a fairly long piece, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. So I'm going to make a loop with the long end sticking out, and I am going to wrap it up higher because I have some tape pretty much up pretty high on this one. And once again, you're going to take your embroidery floss and stick it through that loop, and then you're going to grab the sticky out piece and pull it down, and pull it till the knot is like in the middle of what you just did. And pull it nice and tight, and snip off the ends. And there you have it, a nautical knot bracelet. A nautical knot bracelet that I just made, and here is one that I made previously out of both the same colors. So it looks a little bit fancier than this one that I just made to show you. Have fun with your craft.